Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would get another video and try to get something done on the space station today. Work's been a little bit slow on it, but it is getting closer and closer to completion. So this side wall is mostly tweaked out. I was working on the other side. I have not added any lights over here, but basically texturing all these additional storage bays. And here, let me turn on my light here. Basically, inside of some of them, they're kind of screwy looking. A lot of that has to do with the solar panels that are in place and some of the blocks here. But basically, if you fill up every available block space and throw a controller right at the front, and then that's a 320K storage bay. And it kind of works the same across here. I gotta remove the ones on the end a little bit, I think, though. And then I keep on debating whether I should just keep them in there and not bother with that. But I don't know. I did add in some oxygen and some like backup fuel, and there's a little bit more room for that kind of stuff over on the sides. Now I'm in space, just trying to keep things a little bit cooler right now. Now other areas that have been worked on is down below. This not this room. This is going to be the lounge, by the way. I think this would be a great location and a good size for that. And then below here is the Majora docking bay like hub area. Again, most of these areas are pretty plain right now, and it's just I'm watching size class a lot. And I managed to keep it still despite doing some more areas at size class 10, almost 11. But what I really need to do is work out engineering, and that is below there. Now, engineering's got a fair amount of space in here. It's going to need to hold the core, CPU blocks, generators, shield, gravity generator, probably some fuel, some O2, solar capacitors. I think that's about it. So anyway, let's just get started on this. Now it's going to probably get really dark because, well, here, you know what? I'm going to put in a temporary generator somewhere else here in a minute, and just so we keep lights on when I remove the generators that are down there. So that's just here, slapping a couple of those there. All right. Now I should be able to gut most all of this except for the core. Didn't have much in generators down there anyway. So, alright. Got to figure out exactly where things are going to go. Now, important thing is the gravity generator. And the gravity generator I do want centered and as close to the ceiling as I could put it. And it's a little awkward because it's a 2x2x2 creation. Or block. I'd love to flip it upside down or something, but basically what I want to make sure is it's got the range to cover. I mean, if it can cover the whole base, that would be perfect, because I really do not want to put in more if I don't have to. I'm not sure if the outer bounds of this are going to work yet or not. So what I was actually thinking about doing, and to keep that closer to the top, is maybe like mount it somewhere centered, like something like that. Now it has to be facing that direction too. If you face it a different way, oh wait, this is not the right room. Let's go down to the right room. Let's try over here. So that other room, yeah, it could be engineering, I suppose, too, but it would make more sense if it was done on the bottom, I think. So, alright, let's just put it there for now. And, oh, no, that's not really quite centered, is it? How about there instead? So I've got room below for a shield yet. But I gotta watch these walk paths. I got elevators coming down on two sides. I was thinking about taking the shield and dumping it over here. I'll just throw in some filler blocks here a minute. And a lot of this is just trying to get the layout down. Oh, but a dreadnought shield. No, I'm kidding. And I'll probably leave the shield out so it doesn't matter which one I use right now. It's probably just not going to be there when you get the base. All right. So let's see. I'm just trying to make sure everything can fit right now. So we've got a shield, and a lot of these blocks will probably get modified a lot. Okay, so that's a major component. Now, our walkway is through here, and what I was thinking about doing here, that's gonna suck. But let me take out the core a second. Slap in another one somewhere here. Here, we'll just get this out of the way too. Here, core right there. Okay. Alright, so we've got a walk path coming across here, and I think I'm gonna try to make this come together. Yeah, okay, we'll just fill that in for now. So, evaluate how much space is on each side. I'm kind of doing this elevated floor thing, but this might provide some kind of neat things later on, like being able to do some tricky stuff with the bottom of the floor, which is kind of neat. All right, so we've got those two things. Generators. Now, this is a big puzzle to me. I don't know how much power this base is going to need. I don't know. I mean, if you're operating all the furnaces and you upgrade those at one time, I mean, what's it going to take? But I think a good way to do this would be to pop in more than you think you're going to need and pull out the ones that you don't need, but leave slots for them so you can add them in later. So right here, it just looks like a really awesome place to put some generators. Kind of out of the way, far enough away so you won't get fried if you walk down the center hallway here. Still, yeah, I'm not liking where that gravity generator is, but maybe that can be all worked out. Let's pop in a block there, a minute two. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else that's big and nasty that needs to go in here besides the shield? Power generators. I don't think this is ever going to need one of the big generators either, so I think that would be complete overkill for what this is. Alright. Well, let's have fun with blocks. Let's do some things around the bottoms of these generators right now. Let me see if I got that rotated the right way. I think so. Let's do that on the four sides. If I turn on symmetry, it'll be so annoying right now that I'll scream, I think. So I'm not gonna bother with symmetry on this part of it. Maybe with texturing, but just placing the blocks here is quick enough. All right. I might rip out this center area of the floor. Actually, let's just play with that a minute. Let's see if we can make this look kind of neat. Again, being conscious of size class too. I don't want to go too crazy with it, but I'm wondering if just using like some old school panels here, like this, might be kind of neat, and then try to do some neat little texturing things on the floor below. Something like that. Except over here, this might be a great place to put some fuel or something. So yeah, pop in those blocks a minute. All right. Now, 4 generators. Is 4 generators enough? And that is a really, really, really good question, because I don't know at the time. I wish I did. I don't really know how to test this either, because it's a base. You can't fly it around and charge the shield and see what happens. It's basically, you'd have to, I guess, start a lot of production and see how much power it uses with everything installed. But I don't know. If I leave some extra generator areas, I think I'll be okay. And there's more room up here too. So actually, that's a good point there. Let's do this. And this could allow, at least on one side, on both sides here, for more generators. I can't imagine needing this much. But technically it could have generators like that as well. So I'll try to leave those slots open. Alright, so we've got some main parts. Let's get into the O2 and fuel tanks. Not sure what size fuel tanks to run on here. What I've been doing is using the mediums because they're lower unlock level. But I usually been putting them in like pairs of 2, so you could replace them and put in the bigger ones if need be. And maybe that should actually go up here. I don't think I can remove that block. Not really. Not nicely. So, you know, these are pretty small though. What if slap like fuel tanks kind of, since this is just a pattern anyway on this whole setup here, could do something about like that. Oh, that block would need to go, that block needs to go. Just get rid of that one again, but fill in these. Now I've got some O2 areas in the rest of the base too, and I actually did add some O2 tanks already, but it's going to need quite a lot because it's a lot of area to cover with oxygen. So yeah, I definitely want to get some in here too. This is going to bug me. So how many blocks away would that be? So I am kind of centered. I might have a little bit of leeway with that, hopefully. Because I'm not going to like it right there. I'm just not. I'd rather have it over the side. Alright. Let's grab another one. Let's just say we've got one over here for now. We'll have to test that, and I'll try to leave area up there for it as well. Alright, so with that part established, let's get some oxygen in, and maybe I can just line the side of the elevator here with it. Maybe put a couple on both sides there. Technically could just keep on running those right up. This might work out. It fits well. That'll be 8 more. Let's set up an area across the ceiling here in a minute too. Maybe to get some more in here. Something like that. I'll have to remount these later on. See how many changes this goes through before it's done. You always got to start somewhere though. That's a big thing. Alright, so top with generators. Would look neat if they had something there to like hold them, but I think if I use a regular round piece, it's not going to be big enough. Could go. No, that's really not going to do it either. What about, okay, well, if I did a pipe, it's interesting enough, I suppose, but what am I gonna, well, I'm trying to avoid using anything that uses size class. This kind of sucks too. I kind of want to put in some neat detail stuff, but thinking did something like that and then ran some Kirby pipes into the generators to kind of look like they're hooked up. Something like that. Alright, so on this specific site here, I definitely want to do something with what's going on here above the maybe temporary spot for the gravity generator. What do we do? Could go kind of simple. Run something like that below it. That's not going to work on the other side, which is fine. Alright, now up at the top here, I want to do something with the blocks. What would work? What if... I don't like that going from the square to this. This would be a great opportunity to use one of these other oddball parts here. Maybe, maybe not. Not really. How do you make that all fit and look good without using a full block? Alright, first, that block can change. So that's hull, so we'll use a steel block here. And probably not that pattern. But how about this one? Something like that. Back to substrate here. Go up again. Ah, that fits. Let's put another one of those there as well. And then see if we can also change that block out. And we can. Okay, good. Ooh. But now that's not going to fit right with the way the generator's facing. Oh, okay. Better leave that a full block on that side. At least we got some kind of angle there, which is definitely cool. Wasted area back here. I've been filling in wasted areas a lot right now, and that is to again try to reduce size class. If you do that, it will lower the size class. When it does like some kind of geometry rendering of this, it open areas. It kind of like builds like geometry walls around everything. So if you got an open space somewhere, and it doesn't actually save you on size class, it'll save you over that block of material cost, but not on size class. It actually makes it cost more. So that's something I've been trying to watch with this one, using any means necessary to keep this as cheap as possible. Well, not as cheap, but keep the size class down as much as possible. I did that wrong, didn't I? I did do that wrong. Gotta be like this. And then the substrate of that. And we'll fill that into. Okay, well, we got some part fitting going on. Kind of like how the generators are recessed in the floor like that. Could have added some little guardrails or something around it. I think that'll work out. Alright, so elevator front facings. Guess we'll go pretty simple on this one too. I want something kind of thin but with a edge on it, so you can line up a glass or doors will fit right over the front of it. Well, it's pretty boring on the top, I will say. Let's take those two out a minute. Okay, we're gonna have to definitely do something with the ceiling and all that fun stuff too. And do we have enough parts? Oh, I'm missing solar capacitors. Solar capacitors, gonna need those. Let's grab some. Alright, so solar capacitors. This might be an awesome thing to put on the ceiling. And then make some little beams or something in between them. So let's see, layout. If we started one there, maybe we'll put in 4 of these. For now, maybe leave room for a couple more. I'm not sure that's gonna work out if we put them there. Well, 4 is probably pretty good, I would think. It's not running as much solar as it could. Alright, so let's make this whole setup look a little bit more interesting. Actually, when I put these in, I probably ought to rotate them so we've got a similar angle on the one side. Ooh, they kind of fit together that way a little bit, but I don't know. Kind of wanted to leave the center area open. Yeah, I don't think they're really going to fit together all that well. Alright. Kind of a weird shape there. Alright. Now we can cut into the floor as well. Or the ceiling, I should say. I think I'm actually going to want to do that. Stretching across like this. Oh yeah, we got to get the core. Oh, and the CPU blocks too. Oh yes. Core and CPU blocks. Yep. Got a lot of stuff to put in this room. Alright, so let's take out the 3 in the middle as well. And let's get to some funky blocks here. See if any of these can work out. All we really need to do is maintain a floor up above. And keep it airtight. So I think this should do it. That'll line up with the elevator there. And then we could run maybe some cross beams here using this other thin block. Although we have a space, we run a couple of those there, and then just the one of these on the top. And we got a little bit of framework. It's definitely helping the looks of engineering. Let's take out another row over here too. Do something with this. How about 2 rows? And maybe some of those. Okay. And maybe do that. I kind of want it to come down again. How about just this block here? That work out good enough? Or oops, I can rotate it right. Maybe like that. Okay, so we're getting some complexities in here, but need a lot more main hardcore parts in here yet. Cores. There, you know what? I'm gonna fill in these two. Okay, so we're roof looks technical now. It's got stuff in it. Give it a little detail and contrast, some framework. You know, interesting spot down here for stuff. God, how would that work if the core was right in the center and then you had CPU blocks off to the side of the core? Where else could those go? Don't mind that idea too much, though. It's kind of extra room anyway. And this, I mean, stock though, this thing is not going to take a huge amount of CPU blocks, but I should give it room for a full loadout of reforged Eden stuff. But I kind of want to put these on display a little bit better than that, though, than just on the floor. Although that works, look how neat this pattern would be, especially in vanilla. If you just had the your 4 advanced cores, which I don't think it would need, and then you had the core in the middle. Let's get that out of there. Vulnerable. I mean, you get shot here, it'll be painful. Alright, so I mean, are people really going to want or use quantum cores or anything on this? Yeah, just doing that took it to size class 11, but CPU wise, I guess in Reforged, honestly, the numbers don't come out the same, or maybe I'm not familiar. Maybe I'm thinking of CVs, but are you saying that 4 advanced CPU blocks is not enough? I guess it is running a shield. Okay, well that's not enough. Let's get a place for the improved and the basic as well. Okay, so those guys there. Oh, and that's right, we can put in 5 of those. That one, yeah. Alright. For a couple improves. And maybe even a basic. Oh, right. Oh, that's an air tank. Right next to a fuel tank. Ouch. This is not a combat thing. I mean, seriously, you're not going to want to be in combat with this. Okay, well, that's still not putting in room for one more advanced core. Even if I did that, which I don't really like that. fill in some of these other blocks here while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, so much of this is just trying to get this layout right. And once you can accomplish that, gets a whole lot easier. Texturing it won't be a thing. Or well, it'll be pretty quick and easy to do. Yeah, I'm still not liking the core setup though. And I've got room around too. I mean, technically, could certainly put some cores out in these locations, but I kind of wanted to seal them off so they look like they're you know, placed. That would allow for at least 4 cores there. So let's make an encasing for 1x2 cores here, one way or another. And how do we make this look? Keep it interesting. I don't really like that. What if we just go with the same angle that's already there and stretch it out a little bit more? I'm not sure how that would look here, but actually that works. That works. Okay, I'm okay with that. Covers up the top of the air tank. Kind of looks all choppy and weird, which is kind of cool for this build, for this area especially. And that'll give us an area for a CPU block there. So now, what if we just keep going with that angle straight down the side to there? We've got that cut in here that's gonna look funky. Let's see on the back side of that. I don't think I can chop those blocks away. Guess we could ditch the air tanks. Air tanks are easy to fit anywhere in the base, so not really a thing. Or what if this whole area was just filled up and from there we added in maybe spots right in the elevator shaft here for some CPU blocks. So here, let me pull the improved out. I think these are improves. And slick them back over here, which they're gonna have to probably come in stock anyway. And that gets that out of the way there, and then we would actually have room for the basic here. Not sure which way that should be facing. Okay, so basic improves. Then you need five locations for the advanced. Hate that oddball number of 5. So I got 4 here, that fits pretty good, but the 5th one isn't gonna have a spot. Well, you know what? Actually, if we go with symmetry, we'd actually have room over there for more. Okay, so then we could put our 5th advanced core or actually 2, or I mean, I don't know if you're going to use quantums or not. Doubtful, but I guess it could happen, but that would fit in all the cores. Alright, so I don't even want to start texturing this yet. It's a little too far away from that. Areas that I think could improve. I hate that shape of that too. I wish it was bigger or smaller. But we're okay with it. Is there any block that we can put here that would work out? Make some kind of framework here. Oh, Pentaxa tank. Pentaxa tank. Oh wait, no, I already have one of those. Actually, I got the Pentaxa tank up, mounted in, well, yeah, up over here. So I figured it'd be closer if you're going to manually put Pentaxas in it. So, okay, don't need a Pentaxa tank. Okay, something with the insides of these things now. Let's try to make it look like there's some kind of mounting bracket to the back sides of these go into the ceiling somehow. What to use for that? That looked kind of funky. I'd love to run some more pipes. Maybe I'll do that. I can always pull them if it's going to be too much of a size class burden. But what if ran some of those like that? Let's put in big pipes here. Supposed to be engineering looking anyway. That's a new word. Alright. Okay, so let's get some doors on the elevator here a minute. I thought I had some door parts somewhere. Guess not. Been using cheap. Oh, I guess I did. All right. Been using cheap doors on the inside. And let's see. So we got that, and we could actually run some cheap glass, cheap thin glass over that. It should fit in the block work there pretty decently. And be able to seal off this room. Alright, and let's figure out a couple other things here too. It's gonna need some lights. And lights I like to put on like a solid ceiling, so we can put in a central middle light here. So let's do that. Go with a round one since it's dead center in the middle. Let's give you some settings. We're gonna want to be that color. That should work for now. do our mass replace on carbon substrate with the standard. Okay. So when the lights off, we look like that. Oh, no, okay, that's not floating. Alright. Alright, so assessment. We have room for a full loadout of regular reforged Eden cores and or vanilla cores. We do have the shield mounted. We have gravity. Unknown if that gravity generator is gonna have the proper effects yet. I guess we have a couple blocks over here for something. We have our solar capacitors. What else could be popped in here to add a little bit of detail or something? Not too much anymore. Maybe some consoles and all that when getting into the texturing. Lights. Well, we are in space, so that one light's actually pretty bright right now. Alright, so little doodad things. Can we do anything with the railings? Yeah, let's go with just this little bit cruder one. Oh no, the railings are going to be a nightmare, aren't they? Yeah, they're not going to fit right. Or I've got, whoops. Get an angled one in, okay, but the other ones would be a nightmare. I wanna make it so you can't walk closer though, because if you walk closer, you're gonna get fried. You are in engineering. And with the railings, they're just gonna. They would have to be on the outside, and I can put railings on the outside. In fact, you know, I don't even like that railing. Maybe I'll just go with the one I used everywhere else. The only thing I don't like is how it's connecting there. But maybe that'll be alright. Maybe I can change that around a little bit. And I'm keeping them square. I'd love to put in the angled ones, but if you walk here, you're gonna get fried too, so. Oh, missing one there. Okay, so now how to get these railings to connect to that bottom block. So what I was thinking about doing, try a different block. Be a little weird because it's a different angle than the rest of it, but it does line up to the bottom edge of that railing better. Yeah, I wish I had time to texture this on the video too. It'll look a whole lot different with texturing, and then some lights and details and things like that. But maybe I'll just do that on another video because maybe this one's a little more interesting for newer builders to watch or kind of see how things are actually getting done. One thing I think I need to address yet is I think these back pieces here should be maybe that. So then it kind of lines up on the sides there, and we can do the same over here. Now that's a fry zone right there though. And you know what? but it's also some nice block space in case you did want to add some quantums or something. I just don't know what you'd need quantums for on this base. Okay, so right now it should have all its CPU blocks. We're at 910,000 it looks like. You're really not going to add much CPU with the storage. I don't have guns on here though. So yeah, I could maybe see you using all the CPU, and maybe a couple quantums. I just keep looking at the ceiling thinking, is there anything more I can do with this? Anything interesting at all? These really cheap railings that I kind of like using for some decorative things. I'm just wondering if... Oh, maybe just put a couple railings over that. Give it a little something there. We got glass. Oh, you know what? We're going to need a ventilator too. Sometimes I'll do this after the fact, but I might as well just get one. And where to put a ventilator? Could be really cheap and just use a dinky one here, or let's try something with the light. Let's try this oddball ventilator, and then we'll put a light down one row, same light over the edge of it. So technically that should make air. But yeah, it keeps the light down a little bit too, which I think might help a little bit with the visuals. Especially if on the light, yeah, it already has, I got this set to a pretty high spot angle. So that should get to the walls pretty well and light this up. And let's just do this thing one more time. Place those blocks. And alright, well, kind of the basis for the engineering area. Kind of how I generally work on this stuff. Now this is kind of a weird spot. It's a little different on a ship, especially if I could be a little bit more asymmetrical with it, but this is a very, very symmetrical area, so there's not a lot of that, and I want to make sure everything fit. The big unknown is, you know, is this enough? Gravity, is it going to be located close enough to the center of the base? Is it going to make it to all areas? And actually, I thought there was something that would tell me if there's gravity or not. Is that what that one icon is over there? Yeah, okay, so yeah, we can take a look. Basically on the bottom left of the screen, that center icon with the 3 rings around the person kind of looking thing. Oh, look at, okay, so we got gravity right here. We've got gravity here. So if we got gravity there, that's cool. Let's see if we get gravity to here. Yes. And the lower floor is actually smaller. Okay, so our gravity, that means that it should easily extend out to these sides. And then what about the furthest stretch in the farm? Yes. I think I'm going to get lucky on that one. I think that one gravity generator is going to be enough to cover this whole place, and I'm not even worried about the bottom area. Obviously that should be covered. So it's just this top outer area would the maximum extent of gravity around the windows. Yeah, we're looking good. Okay. Well, that is proven to be not a thing. Oh, and you know what? We don't need these generators any longer either. So that'll drop some CPU. All right. Well, anyway, you all have yourself a good day. I plan on doing another take a look at the workshop thing tomorrow and see what we find. And anyway, you all have yourself a good day. I'll talk to you later.